The Jordan River, with its surging gray-green waters, flows out of Utah Lake, meandering northward, and then finally spills into the Great Salt Lake.
The Jordan River is 50 miles long. It runs through 15 different cities, through 3 different counties, and it connects together so many different jurisdictions. It's really a regional river.
This urban river and hydrological backbone is a major feature of the Salt Lake Valley, dividing it nearly in half. The Jordan River corridor is a lifeline through our communities. For centuries, the river has provided many benefits, and even though throughout the years she has been abused and neglected, she has endured and continues to have tremendous environmental, recreational, economical, and cultural value.
It's underutilized, that it has so much more potential than what it's currently being used at, that has more potential as a recreation outlet, as a destination outlet, or just a getaway spot of nature in this busy urban valley.
The contribution of the Jordan River to the successful settlement of the area cannot be overstated. Historically, Native Americans camped on her banks, and she provided them with food and shelter. Later, trappers, traders, and explorers enjoyed her rich offerings. In the early 1800s, a French fur trader established a fur trading post on her banks. And the early pioneers used her waters to quench the thirst of their animals, cool their feet, and wash their dusty clothes. During the construction of the Salt Lake Mormon Temple, granite blocks were floated down the river to the city. The river was used again to float construction materials in 1869. This time, logs and ties were sent downriver for use in the building of the Central Utah Railroad. Some of the region's most fertile farms were developed along the river's winding course, and communities began to spring up along it. Manufacturing began to thrive near her banks. However, the history of the Jordan River has not always been a proud one.
We know the Jordan was traditionally kind of a disposal means for the early settlers and the people who populated the valley. And that was common in our culture then. Back in the 1900s and early 1940s and 50s, it was pretty much a sewage disposal system to get it out to the Great Salt Lake. You had slaughterhouse waste and the river turning red and all kinds of nasty things going on. So it wasn't a really pleasant place at all, and that's where it got sort of a bit of a stigma as to its condition, but it's not that way at all today.
And now, you go to the Jordan River, you see a completed trail, you see people using it. Salt Lake County spent a lot of money improving the water quality, putting back in the natural river bends, and that's what we want it to be. A place where you can escape from the real world just for a few minutes or for hours if you want to.
People who have actually been to the river or live near it have a very positive perception of the river. They see it as a real amenity and a great place for recreation and a nice respite from the hustle and bustle of the city. But people who haven't actually been to the river, I think, automatically default back to this stigma, what they hear on the news from the previous days of the river when the water quality was really, really poor, but it's improved significantly since then.
In 1973, the Utah State Legislature created the Provo-Jordan River Parkway Authority to establish programs to enhance the natural quality of the river and to develop park and recreational facilities, water conservation projects, and flood control measures.
It adds to the lifestyle, which is what we sell the state on, is the fact that somebody can go over to the Jordan River Parkway and go for a bike ride and go for a run. It draws people into the city to do business because of the lifestyle.
As we develop the entire county, we will see over 3 million people. We need an opportunity not to have to travel for miles and miles, hours and hours, to just enjoy the serenity that exists there, and also to experience the wildlife that we can have in our own back doors.
The river has come a long way and is still an important waterway. Today, the river provides irrigation water, allows for drinking water, flood control systems, and environmental and recreational amenities.
It's amazing to me that you can find a place, this ribbon of open space within a highly urbanized area where you can see beaver, you can see deer, hundreds of different types of waterfowl. I mean, it's just amazing that we've got this little urban oasis for wildlife and a place where you can connect with nature within a really urbanized part of the city.
We have wonderful roadways and infrastructures, but primarily they're used for moving cars. We don't want to walk on them. We don't want to run on them. Certainly it can be a hazard from time to even bicycle on them. these trails offer and afford those opportunities to us.
In 2008, Salt Lake County and Envision Utah embarked on an ambitious effort to involve the public in creating a collaborative, comprehensive vision for the river. Blueprint Jordan River was born from this process. The Blueprint is an implementation plan to turn the neglected river corridor into a defining amenity for our region.
Back in 2007 and 2008, Envision Utah and Salt Lake County did this community visioning process and produced a document called the Blueprint Jordan River, which really outlines a very ambitious and exciting vision for the Jordan River, and that's what I hope we can accomplish.
This document recommended the creation of the Jordan River Commission, a voluntary partnership between cities and counties and the community to care for the Jordan River corridor. The blueprint also includes 7 guiding principles and 5 big ideas. In short, this document asked people to imagine the possibilities and created a roadmap for how to best create a world-class river corridor.
Well, I think the opportunity is for us to get a common vision of what the corridor could be and then work together to achieve that. And that means a lot of municipalities coming together and different organizations that really buy into what the vision is and develop in a way that's consistent and respective of other people downstream and upstream.
Environmentally and economically, it ties the different cities in the county together. And for the state of Utah, Salt Lake County, to have a parkway that stretches that many miles is very unique.
Because of all the attention and work done on the river in recent years, the river's beauty has truly started to reawaken. Although hidden within an urban area, the river is still the centerpiece of the valley and is a precious resource worth protecting and nurturing to greatness. The river belongs to all of us, and we all have a responsibility to be good stewards. We all have a stake in the future of the Jordan River corridor.
As we work as cities and towns together in connection with this opportunity to develop this and preserve it, in the years to come, this will be one of the bright spots that we have in our community.
The Jordan River is not just a Salt Lake County project, and it borders many of our cities, so it really is the jurisdiction of all of us as citizens, as government agencies, private agencies, and so we want everybody to work together to create the dream and also get the Jordan River Trail completed, get the water back to the quality it should be, and really make it the crown jewel that it is and we want it to be for the future.
Because of the way the river connects us, what one entity does affects the others, creating a need for close cooperation between government agencies, landowners, and river users. The river corridor has a lot of potential. If we can work together and identify and put in place effective strategies for caring for the river corridor, it will increase its value for all of us. By working together, we will have far greater strides and success. Our actions today will not only affect the here and now, but generations to follow.
And I think the opportunity is for all of the cities along and counties along the river to work together, and if we can all band together behind this regional vision, if we can all buy into the idea that the sum is greater than the parts, if we all contribute to making this a reality, we'll have better health, we'll have better air quality, we'll have better water quality, we'll have a great recreational resource for our entire region. It's a really exciting time for the Jordan River. There's a ton of momentum behind river-focused efforts, river-focused planning projects, and I think it's finally getting the attention it deserves.